All right, here's a question to pose. How do we restore prosperity in America? And how do we get back to America first for a change? So here to tell us is Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State, Fox News contributor, and author of the new book, Never Give an Inch. There it is up on the full screen. Everybody should buy it. One click on Amazon and whatever else you want. Mr. Secretary, welcome on set.
Larry, it is great to be with you.
So I want to start with kind of a semi-funny thing. Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea. So as I understand this story, you go and visit with him, first of all, and he says to you he didn't think you'd visit with him because he says you want to kill him. And if I have this quote right, well, Mr. Chairman, I still am trying to kill you. Is that a true story?
That is a true
You
story.
said that to him?
All through a translator, so there was risk. But you know, I'd prepared for that moment. There were 40 things we thought he might say. This was not on the bingo card. So the response was just from the top of my mind. I could sense he was pushing me, joking just a little bit, and so I took a chance, and he laughed.
He laughed?
He laughed. No, he laughed. He thought it was clever. I think he thought it was a strong response.
Did the other people in the room who heard it laugh?
It was a small group that were there. They didn't laugh. The other North Korean officials did not laugh. No one laughs there.
How was your security that day?
Good enough. Here I am to tell about it.
No, I know you can be a mean critter. I know that, but Mr. Chairman, I'm still trying to kill you. I like it very much. So let's talk the State Department. I heard you the other day speaking about all this, bunch of bedwetters, the worst of the deep state. You ran the State Department for, I guess, 3 years. How was it? What was that like? A word on that?
It was tough. 3 unions, civil service protections.
Oh, that's right.
So it's a very difficult place. It has a left of center bias, but mostly it has a Washington D.C. institutional we know best bias, and that was really tough to break through. As a leadership challenge in my life, I was an assistant manager at Baskin-Robbins. I ran a tank platoon. This was the most difficult leadership challenge of my life.
More than a tank platoon.
Yeah, much tougher, much ornerier.
Wow. Great. Thank you for your service, by the way, running a tank.
Thank you very much.
I mean, we've worked together for several years, but was the CIA better in your judgment?
It was.
Institutionally, as an organization?
Institutionally, it was. I took over from John Brennan. He had politicized at the top end parts of the agency.
The most dishonest guy, or one of the most dishonest guys I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm saying that.
No, it was tough to follow him. But it turned out when I showed up that the team wanted to go do its traditional mission, right? Conduct espionage, put a dagger in their mouth. They wanted to go do those things. And so it didn't take long to get their confidence, to make clear we were going to support them. We'd have their back. President Trump was great help in doing that. And they went out and did phenomenal things. I was able to get them headed in the right direction in a relatively short time.
Yeah, it's terrific stuff. All right, I want to go domestic for a variety of reasons. So I posit Joe Biden is pushing America into decline. I think this, I regret, but it could be a long-term decline. I think Trump tried to halt it for a couple of years, but we're back on that path. A lot of it is this big government socialism that I've been talking about. So I want to ask you about some views here. First of all, climate policy, spending policy, regulatory policy. It just seems to me it's wrong way every time. What do you think? What are your views on it?
Yeah, they've gotten each of those wrong as a domestic matter and also as a national security matter. You and I did work closely together, Larry, right? We were hand in glove putting foreign policy in service to America first, getting our economy right, giving me the most powerful thing America has. I love having a good military. I'm happy to have good diplomacy, but in the end, the American economy drives our power through the world. Yeah, look, these folks just have it all wrong. The climate policy puts American jobs at risk. Frankly, we've seen it puts the globe at risk. When you try to convert off of fossil fuels too fast, you end up with Russians invading Europe, right? These are things that are fundamentally dangerous for the United States. It puts us on an economic trajectory where the Chinese dream of American decline can become too real. We had that part right, and you were at the center of this too, Larry. Peel back these regulations, create opportunity and space for small businesses like mine. I ran a machine shop in Wichita, Kansas before I lost my mind and ran for Congress. We need that space, that freedom, the freedom to fail, go back, hit it again, get after it.
Oh, I love that. That's in your book. You talk about that.
Yeah, well, no, look, we get it wrong. Sometimes things just don't go right and you don't catch a break. But if you stay at it, if you put your helmet on every day and just get out there and know what the mission set is. But when you have big government and taxation and you're telling folks they got to be licensed to be hairdressers, right? All these are tiny at one level, but in the end, the cumulative impact, the weight of those regulations burdens our economy and puts American families at risk. And that decline is both economic and cultural. We've seen what happens when you get $31 trillion in hole and it's the size of your GDP. It's hard to climb out of, Larry.
You know, this crowd, the Biden crowd, they're want to punish rich people, redistribute income and wealth. They're constantly attacking business, free enterprise. But mostly, Mike, the one that drives me crazy is they basically want to punish success, not reward success. And that's like the heart of the American spirit. You know, from the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They want to punish success. And our former boss, I'm going to give him a lot of credit on this, said, no, we should reward success, right, and take a swing at the ball. I mean, you heard him say that a million times.
No, you've got it exactly right. Look, this is the model we know. Certainly we did it in our administration. It's the Reagan model, right? It's the it's the model of give everyone the right set of incentives and reward those who are out there willing to bust their tail. Single moms who are willing to go work hard, dads who are out there every day taking care of their families. We've come a long way from that. I remember when we were working to say, well, look, if it's in tough times, we're happy to help you out, but you got to at least be trying to find a job. You got to be looking to work. I worry, Larry. I worry about the work ethic in America. If we lose that central idea that the way to get ahead is by learning, by taking on new skill sets, by being prepared to sacrifice for your family, for your community, to go work to deliver good things, it's hard to figure out how to get that back in a box.
Well, these are old-fashioned values. We were just talking to Rand Paul about this, and for the umpteenth time. Government benefits should be tied to workfare and work requirements.
That was exactly what I was speaking to.
Bill Bennett was on. We had a town hall show last week. Bill Bennett was on and talked at some length about the virtues of working and the dignity of working. And this is what you're saying, I think.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the exact same thing.
We need some people have to say it, Mike Pompeo. They have to come out and say it.
That's right. And I'll give you another piece of this, right? The Chinese Communist Party is watching. They're claiming we're in decline. You have so many young people who grow up never having seen one of their parents go to work. Right? This is how you pass this on to the next generation. They learn that this is what my mom did, this is what my dad did, this is what I'm going to do, and transmit that through this set of cultural understandings within the family. And when government takes that away, when it says, no, but if you work, we'll punish you, and if you decide to stay home, we're going to take care of you, you will end up with mediocrity, and most importantly, you will undermine this core civic idea that there is a virtue to working. And when America loses that, our founders knew this, when America loses that, the republic's at risk. You talk about it being a nation in decline. I think we're headed that way. I think we can pull it out, but it is going to take leaders at every level, from city council to school board to county commission to president of the United States, who get that and begin to put policies in place that behave that way, that cause people to say, yep, that's what we're going to do.
So run for president. Run. Run, Mike, run.
We're praying. We're thinking about it, Larry. That's very kind.
I mean, look, nobody knows how these things are going to turn out.
Oh,
right?
goodness,
the future isn't possible. The Lord may know, but none of us know. Okay, get that. I'm just saying, if you run, whatever happens, you'll make a fabulous contribution from your experience as a House member, as a businessman, as a former CIA director, as a former Secretary of State. I mean, that's a set of credentials that's very rare, Mike Pompeo.
Well, that's very kind. I appreciate that. We're giving it serious consideration. We're trying to figure our way through it. We care deeply about this country in the same way that you do. When I say we, Susan, my wife, and I care deeply about this country in the same way that you do. I'm hoping we get to the point where we can make a good decision. And then I promise you this, Larry, we'll stay in this fight alongside you for the next 40 years, no matter what we decide.
That'd be great. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it the first time. Whatever the future brings, I'm going to enjoy it the second time.
Thank you very much, Larry.
In whatever guise it comes.
Exactly.
Anyway, we have a picture of the book up on the full screen. I want to sell the guy's book. There it is. Never give an inch. I really like that. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Thank you, Larry. You never give an inch. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.